Today, inshallah, we're covering the first text that we have from Learn Real English Authentic Conversations. Authentic means something real. So today we're having real conversations, the conversations that you can see in real life. They are not something academic or scientific. No, they are real conversations from our real daily lives. Alright, so let's start with the first text that we have. It says earthquake conversation. And as you can see over here, I highlighted some words for you. Actually, those words or expressions, we're going to try to take a look at them, a deep look, and understand every single thing related to them. So starting with the first word that we have, which is earthquake. So what do you think the meaning of earthquake? Maybe you heard this word before. The word earthquakes consists of two parts. The first one is earth, the other one is quakes. Quakes is the sound of the duck. If you have heard this one before, and I'm sure that you've heard it, so this one. Yes, it's the sound of the duck. But what's the relation between earth and the quake one? What's the relation between both of them? Actually, earthquakes is some kind of a sudden movement that happens and it causes a dangerous situation, and it's called a natural disaster. It's not an easygoing thing that happens. Earthquake is some kind of a movement that happens in the Earth's surface. The other one, check this out. If someone is saying to the other one, hey, check this out. Check this out, which means, hey, watch this. Listen to me. You're trying to hook him or to grab his attention. This one is called check this out. The other one, I have no idea. If someone is asking you a kind of question, as you can see here, we have a question mark, so we had a question, and you are replying with, I have no idea. I have no idea, which means you are out of information. You don't know anything related to this, so I have no idea. Yes. The third one is what did he ask you? Right now I have a really simple question for you. What did this kind of shortcut that you can see here? Is it some kind of a shortcut for what plus would, or what plus had? Which one do you think is the answer for this? What is a shortcut for what would or what had? Try to think. Okay, actually the answer is depending on the verb after whatted. After whatted, do we have some kind of a verb, and this verb is some kind of in the infinitive form, or this one is in the past participle one? Which one do you think? Over here, let's look. What did he ask? So ask is infinitive, perfect. So this one is what would. What did he ask? What if we had here something like what did he asked? Asked will be the past participle, so this one will be what had. Yes, so this one, what did he ask you? Let's move to the next one. Yes, you've gotta be kidding. You've gotta be kidding. You're saying to someone who's telling you some kind of something unbelievable for you. So hey, you've gotta be kidding. You've gotta be kidding. You've gotta is some kind of a shortcut for you have got to be kidding. You have got to be kidding. So we're some kind of reducing the time and reducing the sounds, and we're saying it, and you've gotta be kidding. You've gotta be kidding. The next one, pulling my leg. Hey, stop pulling my leg. Pulling, as you know, that pull is the opposite of push. So pulling my leg is something of you're taking my leg with you. But this kind of expression, actually, it's an idiom, American idiom, that means you're some kind of lying to me. You're pretending that the lie that you say is true. So you're making a joke by lying to someone, and at the same time you're pretending that this lie is true. This means pulling my leg. The next one, far-fetched. I guess it's not so far-fetched. If you're describing something as it's a far-fetched one, which is an adjective, so you're describing it as something unbelievable, something cannot be true. For example, if you're telling me any kind of a story, and then I'm going to reply to you with, hey, what you say right now is a far-fetched story. Far-fetched story, which means unbelievable story, something that can never be believed. This is the far-fetched one. Another one, a major fault line. Actually, this is some kind of a specialized word that we need to know about. Major, which means something main. So we have something major and something minor. M-I-N-O-R, minor. Major and minor. And we have fault line. And actually for explaining this word for you, I'm going to get the use over here of Google, and I'll get Google Images. And as you can see over here, when I start searching about this word, fault line, you can see here, there's some kind of pictures related to the surface of the earth, and all of them are describing the crack that you can see here, a crack in the surface that we have. This kind of thing is called fault line. So what is the fault line? It's a crack that we have in the earth's surface. This one is called fault line. All right, the next one, due east. Due east. If you're saying to someone, for example, if someone is asking about where the bank is located, where is the bank located? Right now, a question from a stranger one. Then you're going to reply to him, go due east, and then you will find it at the end of the street. Due east, which means go directly, exactly to the east. You know, so due east, which means exactly in the east of some place. Due east of San Jose, so exactly at the east of some place. Exactly at due east. Okay. The other one is epicenter. Epicenter, which means the middle of the earthquake, or the middle of the problem, or the middle of the explosion, the middle of some kind of a dangerous thing. So here, when we go to Google again, you're going to find it's the middle, epicenter, the middle of some kind of a problem or an earthquake, as you can see here. Epicenter. This is the epicenter part. This is the epicenter part. Moving on. All of a sudden, if you're describing something and you're saying, all of a sudden, blah, blah, blah happened. All of a sudden, what does it mean? It means some kind of suddenly, out of nowhere, you know, out of the blue. Some kind of something that you didn't expect. So this is all of a sudden. The next one, shift. Shift. This shift, which means this movement or this change that happened, it's really hard to explain. Actually, this one, I know that you know this one, but actually I highlighted it so you can practice it and more, because it's a really good expression to use while you're speaking in your daily life. It's really hard to explain, you know, when you're saying, it's really hard to explain, it's really hard to explain, which means you cannot find the words or the suitable words for describing the thing that you're speaking about, or you're out of words to describe something. If you're out of words, you can say, it's really hard to explain, maybe because of the feeling that you had, or because of the words cannot be satisfying for you to describe something. So this is really hard to explain something. Okay, the other one, shift to the right and then shift right back. Actually, in this situation, Kristen was describing the movement of the buildings, and she's saying that the buildings were some kind of swaying. They were what? Swaying. And they were swaying, shift to the right and then shift right back. You know, they were moving from side to side. They were moving from some kind of from the right to the left. I'll show you some kind of a video right now that explains this one perfectly. So I need you right now, if you please, to try to look at this building. By the way, the camera is not moving. We'll look at this building and you will feel the swaying. You see? It's moving. This one is swaying right now from right to right back, or from right to left. You see? This is called swaying, yes. So this one is called swaying. Shift to the right and then shift right back. Shift to the right, shift, which means move to the right, and then shift right back, move right back, move to the left. The next one you have, there's. Actually, it's the same idea that we had before. There's. Do you think right now there's, this one is there is or there has? Okay, the same point again. There is plus is, or there plus has. Which one do you think over here? There is. All right, the question, actually the answer for this one will be depending on what's next. Do you think the verb after it is some kind of past participle, so it will be either has, or it's some kind of a noun that we have, or verb ing? You know, if it's a noun or verb ing, so it will be is. So there's been, so this one, there has been. For example, if I say over here, there's a boy, so there's a noun after it. So this one will be followed by noun or verb ing. For example, he's playing, so this one, verb ing. Okay, back again. There's been an earthquake. The next one, gigantic. Gigantic, which means something massive, something very big, gigantic. He's describing right now the big train. Here we have a big train. Yes, the big train, like some kind of a gigantic Mack truck, or the earthquake. He's describing actually the earthquake. The earthquake was gigantic, was massive, was very, very big, as it was like Mack truck. What is the Mack truck? I'll show you some kind of a picture right now related to this, so you can imagine what he's speaking about. Yes, this is the Mack truck. As you can see, it's some kind of a massive one. It's a gigantic truck. All right. And suddenly I start to hear the heater shaking. The heater. What do you think the heater is? The heater actually is the device that we use in our homes that is some kind of, that is producing the warm air or the heat. This one is called the heater. As you can see here, some pictures related to this. So this is the heater. Okay. The other one that we have here, a couple of times. I told you before that this kind of script that we have is a slang one. The script that we use here actually in Learn Real English Conversations. This one is slang, which means it's not written in the academic way. They write it as they say it. So a couple of times, they say it a couple of times, but what is it a shortcut for? This one is a shortcut for what? Couple of times actually is a shortcut for couple of times. Let's write here. Couple of times. And actually he replaced of, he deleted of, and he replaced it with a. And he said couple of times. Couple of times. I need to some kind of to link between those both. He added some kind of apostrophe here, so this one couple of times, all of it, couple of times. All right. Here we have something called aftershock. Actually, if you have some kind of a tsunami, because he's speaking here about tsunami, if you have a tsunami or an earthquake or any kind of those natural disasters, there is something called aftershock. Aftershock, which means there is a second wave. There is a second thing that happens after them. So maybe there is an earthquake right now, but after the earthquake, there will be another earthquake. The other one, or the next one, or the second one is called aftershock. It's called what? Aftershock. Perfect. So moving on. So aftershock over here, as he's describing, an earthquake that happens right after another earthquake. Yes. There was all this rattling. He's describing right now the situation that we had after the tsunami or after the earthquake, after this natural disaster. And he's saying that there was all this rattling. All right. Actually, right now, as you can see, I've showed you a way of trying to learn the words, which is this way: to go to Google Image, and try to watch what's going on over here about the word, and you will try to get the meaning of the word by this way. I'll try right now to show you the other way, which is the one who's some kind of that most of people are doing actually, which is rattling. Let's go to the dictionary. So rattling over here, what does it mean? Rattling, as you can see, it's some kind of related to the worrying and the sound. To worry someone or to make someone nervous, but actually this is not the meaning that we need. We need this one, to make a noise. All of the noises that we had, there were a lot of noises at this situation, so there was all this rattling. So rattling, what does it mean? It means some kind of noises. Okay, moving on. He's describing actually all of the situation as it was so irrational. Irrational means something unbelievable or something cannot be true. You know, it's irrational for you. For example, if you're describing a situation, this situation is irrational. It's irrational. Come on, it's irrational. So this one is unbelievable for you. Moving on. Oh, here, this one. Oh, did you feel the earthquake? Did you feel the earthquake? Did ya? Actually, this is not an English word that we have, but did ya is a shortcut for did you. Did you feel the earthquake? So this one is did you. So did you feel the earthquake? Did ya? Did ya? Did ya? Did you? Did you feel the earthquake? Then it dawned on me. Dawned on me, you know, actually the dawn, which means some kind of I realized something, or I knew something, or it was clear for me, or I understood that thing. It dawned on me. Oh, that was an earthquake. It was, you know, when you realize something, oh, you mean blah. So this kind of way is called it dawned on me. It dawned on me. Yes. Here there is an answer from Kristen, and she's saying, yeah, totally, which means definitely, totally. If you're answering with totally, that means definitely, 100%, definitely. I'm sure about it. The other one, I've been living here for a while. I've been living here for a while. For a while, which means for a long time. For a while, for some time, which means some kind of a long time. Now, and I've definitely felt my share of. I've definitely felt my share of, which means I've experienced some of. I experienced some of. I had my part of. You know, this is called definitely felt my share of. My share of. The other one, it's a given. You know, when you live here, it's a given that you're gonna blah blah blah. It's a given, which means you have to experience it. There is no way, there is no doubt that you are going to experience the earthquakes. So it's a given. It's a given. Moving on. Right now we're speaking about people's perspective. Perspective, this one, which means some kind of opinion or thoughts, or what do you think about something. For example, if I'm asking you, what's your perspective of the elections? So what's your opinion about? What do you think about? Perspective, which is the way that you look at things. Perspective, the way you look at the thing. What do you think about it? Here we have taken place. If you're taking place, actually this one is some kind of a verb. Taking place means happen. Something happening. Taking place, that means happening. The other one, announcer. Announcer is the guy who's holding the microphone in the TV. So let's get some pictures related to him. Yes, here is the announcer. This guy who's holding the mic, maybe on TV or on the radio or whatever he is. So this guy is called the announcer. It's called what? The announcer guy. Moving on. All of a sudden, actually we covered this one before, all of a sudden, which means some kind of, suddenly, yes, out of nowhere, out of the blue. Perfect. The TV coverage cut out. The TV coverage, the signal of the TV, the coverage of the TV cut out. You know, it was some kind of, it was no longer able to be seen. You know, it was gone. The coverage was gone. Yes. I wanted to get a rundown, which is some kind of information. I wanted to get a report, a detailed report about what happened. So I wanted to get a rundown on what happened. So rundown, which means a detailed report. Yes. This one, trying to weed through the rubble. Trying to weed through, which means to dig through, to look through, to search in. Weed through, which means to search in something. Weed through. Weed through the what? The rubble. The rubble is some kind of, you know, when there's a building and this building is destroyed, or it was some kind of bombed in a war or something, this kind of thing, when it happens, there will be a pile too many, a pile of stones and bricks, and they will be broken. The stones of the building and the bricks of the buildings will be broken everywhere. This is called the rubble. This is called what? The rubble. So let's try here. This one in Cambridge. Rubble. So rubble, as you can see here, it's حطام or ردم. This means the piles of broken stone and bricks, etc., that are left when a building falls down or is destroyed. When the building will be falling down or it will be destroyed. So, for example, the bomb reduced the house to rubble. Or you can say it's small pieces of stone or rock used for buildings. So this is the rubble. Okay. The last things that we have here, pretty scary. If you're describing something, it was pretty scary, which means it was a little bit frightening for me. I was afraid at this situation. It was pretty scary. It was pretty scary, this feeling. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, it's some kind of, that's for sure. He's saying over here, that is for sure. I'll tell you what, which means that is for sure. And this is in the slang one. And actually it has some kind of some other meanings. Like, I'll tell you what, which means listen to me, because I'm about right now to offer you something, or I'm about to suggest something for you. You know, when you're trying to suggest in suggestion, or you're trying to offering or recommending something, this is called I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, there is blah blah blah, you have to try it. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what. Okay, the other one, I was actually up in my apartment. I was actually up in my apartment, up over here, which means I was waking up. I was awake. I was not sleeping, I was actually up in my apartment. The other one, the building swaying. Swaying, actually we covered this one before, which means to move from side to side, to move slowly from side to side, like the building that we've watched. Okay, he's saying, she's saying over here that the earthquakes are like a dime a dozen. A dime a dozen, this one, a dime a dozen, which means it happens very common. It's too many, it happens too many times in Japan. So a dime a dozen, a dime a dozen, a dime a dozen. Okay. The buildings to absorb, their buildings to absorb the shock. Absorb, to take something in. Absorb means what? To take something in. Actually, I'd like to show you some kind of a picture related to this to get the meaning of absorb. So for example, over here, those two t-shirts. The first one is black, and black color absorbs light, and the white color reflects light. Again, this one absorbs it, which means it takes it in, and this one reflects it. It doesn't take it in. So let's try it over here in Cambridge. The word absorb. So absorb, which means to take in, to take something in, especially gradually, you know, gradually, step by step. Plants absorb carbon dioxide, and so on. So this one is absorb. Moving on. The last word that we have for today is the word surreal. Surreal, you know, it's two parts actually, sur and real. Surreal, which means something unreal or something not true. They were the most important things that we need to learn from the first text that we have for today, which is Earthquakes Conversation from Learn Real English Authentic Conversations. I hope that you got something today. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day, everyone.